up, guys? This is Will, and I'm back with another video. And today we're going to talk about the ZTE ZMAX Pro after almost 6 months of use. Now, I did a video of the 2 months, after 2 months use, and that video had over 70,000 views on it. So I want to thank everybody that watched that video, that left tips, suggestions, and different things to help with the user experience on this phone. I thank everybody for doing that. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check that video out. But I want to talk about how I feel about using the phone now compared to then, and see what's changed about it. And also in that video, there was a lot of talk about flagship phones versus mid-tier or lower-end phones. And I want to talk about that a little bit in this video also. So I got my Chromebook over here. I got the same notes that I used from that video 4 months ago. And I want to go over these same gripes or likes that I had about that video and talk about what's changed since then. So here's my ZTE ZMAX Pro. Have it in a nice wallet style case right here. And I've been carrying it in this case for a while. I kind of like this case now for this size of this phone, but I'm gonna take it out. If you hear thunder and stuff, it's raining outside here, so that's what you're gonna be hearing. But anyway, let's talk about how the phone's held up over time. The phone's held up excellently. There's no scratches anywhere on this phone. Well, I have a few scratches on the front of it, but I'm not using screen protector. They're very, very light scratches, so you can't even really see them. There's fingerprints and smudges on the back, but overall the phone's held up really well. So one of the gripes that I had in the first video was about the speaker, the sound quality of the phone. Well, I had tons of people to tell me to go into the Dolby sound app on here and adjust that. So that's what I did. Thanks everybody for suggesting that. I did that, and the sound is much better now. It's still not the best because the speaker is on the back, and it's just not the best type of speaker. But it's a whole lot better, and I appreciate that. So the second thing I talked about that I didn't like was the battery. Now, I got a lot of tips on battery, things to do to improve the battery life. I followed some of those I didn't know about, some of them I did know about, but the battery is still about the same. It's great battery life. I'm getting between 4.5 hours. I'm not getting 6 or 7 like some people say they're getting, and I'm using tips and tricks also. So maybe my unit just doesn't have the best battery in it, or whatever the case may be. But I'm always around a charger or something like that, so that's no big deal as far as the battery. I've learned to use it as is, and I'm fine with it. So I also talked about no NFC in the last video. That's not a problem. I've moved on from that. It wasn't a big deal then. It was just something that I mentioned in that video. For the price of this phone, you're not going to get everything that a flagship phone has. So some things that I talked about that I did like about it, and that's been the strain of this phone. This big 6-inch screen, 1080p, is still a great screen. It's perfect, like I said before, for watching media content, being productive. It's an awesome screen on this phone. I talked about the notification light on the bottom of it. I still like that feature. It's an excellent feature to have. Something that I didn't talk about in the last video was the USB Type-C. I really like that because I have several phones that has this type of port on it, and so it's great to have that on there. Also, we talked about the build quality. It has excellent build quality on it. Like I said, no creaks, no cracks. It's just held up really good. So the fingerprint sensor is still an excellent fingerprint sensor on it. Works very fast. As you can see, it popped on right away right there. So I have no problems with that. The camera. The camera's pretty good on it. It's not flagship cameras on here, but the back camera takes pretty decent pictures. The front, it's not that great, but overall, this phone is still a great phone, man. It's held up. I've learned to use it and know what to expect out of it. Now, on that video, there was a lot of talk about flagship phones versus mid-tier or lower-end phones. People were talking about, why spend a lot of money on the higher flagship phones when you have phones like this that have great features on them. Maybe the processors, the cameras, and stuff like that are not on par with those, and you're saving a lot of money. So my thing is, this phone has a lot of features. Those phones have a lot of features. But do you actually use all of the features that are on your phone? I don't use half of the features that's included on a lot of my devices. Now, you may be a person that does. So, is it worth that extra $600, $700, $800 to have that flagship name on that phone for a few more features that you may or may not use? For me, I'll still buy the flagships, and I'll still buy this level of phone right here. This phone rivals or outdoes a lot of those so-called flagship phones in a lot of things. Now, I've done some videos, app opening videos, this phone against Apple, against Samsung, against LG. Now, the processor, we know it's not, bumpy cam, sorry. The processor is not nearly as powerful as those phones, but within my little experiment, my little video comparison, this phone opened up apps just as fast sometimes, or faster than those. Now, opening apps is not all there is to making a phone more powerful, but it just goes to show that even this lower end or mid-tier phone can perform pretty well. So that's everybody's personal thing. If you want to, you want to only stick to the brand names or the high-end flagship phones. But I still think a person can get a great phone, especially at the prices that you can find the ZTE and some of the other not so well-known manufacturers out there. So I would buy this phone again within a heartbeat. The camera may not be the best. The build quality is not glass and metal, but it's solid and it performs well. And that's just my look at the ZTE ZMAX Pro after 5 or 6 months. I still think it's a great buy. Has a lot of great features and it's a lot of things I didn't get a chance to talk about. But I would buy it again. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch y'all in the next video.